Gotta get the chat up too. Shit, I gotta get my trade window open.
Yes, sir. I just sent you a message in there.
Ooh. Let's see. I got.
We are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the first trade event in Top Shot history. Super excited to be joined by the one, the only, Samuel D. Sam, how you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How we doing today?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. I see some trades getting started. We're going to start sharing our screen. Maybe, Sam, we can execute a trade. Who knows?
Let's go. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Terms dependent.
We are going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be having some fun here, monitoring the trade windows. The event itself, the trading window is open from now until 4 p.m. Eastern, so it's about a 3-hour window. We will be live here for the next hour, maybe hour and a half or so. And in that time, we'll be announcing some big trades. We'll be monitoring the chat, maybe doing some trades of our on our own, but also talking NBA and talking Top Shot. So we're excited.
In hindsight, we should have gotten the sound effects for every trade. Bow, 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 bow. Next time, pyrotechnics.
That's right. We are joined in the studio with Steve. We're going to share the trade window so we can see what that looks like. If you're not already in there, that would be great for you all to join nbatopshot.com/trade. And you can find other collectors, chat with them, build trade offers, execute trades, all done through Top Shot itself.
Just logging in and finding all my friends. I'm excited to, even for only a few hours, have literal friends on Top Shot. I'm just going to type in all my friends' names and just start DMing.
Yeah, find your friends. Sam, what are you in the market for in terms of your collection?
Honestly, everything in my collection lately has just been Brandon Miller, Herbert Jones, Noah Clowney. I moved to Charlotte a couple years ago, and I'm a Celtics fan at heart. I grew up a Celtics fan, but I moved to Charlotte, so I was like, never lived in a place with an NBA team. I'm gonna try to lean in, even though they're the Hornets. They make it hard, but I'm gonna try harder. And then, like 6 months later, they drafted my guy out of Alabama, and so I'm all in on the Charlotte Hornets. So pray for me. But I'm excited about the season. We can talk about that later. But yeah, so mostly those three guys, and then Celtics Hornets sort of on a larger scale. What you got?
I think I've got a Brandon Miller. Let's see. Definitely have a Herbert Jones, though my Herbert Jones might not be the best.
They're all the best. I don't discriminate.
That's Brandon Ingram.
I could be wrong, but I believe that I am the largest shareholder of Herbert Jones by at least sheer volume. Maybe not on the leaderboard.
You know what I'm realizing, Sam? I'm in the community account. So this is the account we're going to be using for giveaways. So you're going to have to make me an offer to my collection, and we can execute it. But I am open for business. Matthew in chat, I'm looking to make some trades. Feel free to check out my username, KGJ24, open to offers. And yeah, we'll also be doing giveaways from the community account. We've got some good stuff in here. We're giving away a Derek White legendary later today. So stay tuned.
Does he have the right jersey on for me? Let's see.
We'll also be taking questions, facilitating trades. Feel free to mention in chat what you're in search of. See if you can find a friend, put your usernames out there. We'll do some demoing here. It's very simple to find a user. All you need to do is hit the plus button, then type in that username. I'll look for someone that's put their username in chat. I see Boston Based has put his username in chat.
I'm looking at a trade offer from Boston Base right now.
And you can start a new chat. So I'm exiting my trade with Samuel D. You can see in the bottom left, my chats, all of the collectors I'm talking to. And then I can build a trade offer.
I'm signing my first trade offer of the day right now, actually. Trading away I'm trading away a Derek White. Not a legend.
Oh, yeah?
But, you know. I've completed the trade. I've got fireworks everywhere on my screen. For a Trae Young 60K and the Kevin Durant famous 7,500.
Very nice. So I see,
just because it's fun, you know?
I see a question in chat. Is there a period of time that a trade has to take place? The trade has to be executed within the next 2 hours and 50 minutes. If the trade does not happen in the next 2 hours, 50 minutes, the trade will be voided and we'll have to wait until the next trade event for that trade to be resurfaced. Congratulations, Samuel. Congratulations, Boston Based, on that big trade.
Was I with a 100th caller? Just going to keep trading.
Yeah, keep trading. Got J.E. Skeets in the house. Got Jesse Lemon. The Top Shot trade effectively works as if you've gifted the moment to the other user. So it will start with a new Top Shot score after the trade.
Let's see. All right, I got all kinds of trades popping up. All right, now I'm going to the Top Shot community account. Is there even anything in there? What do you guys even have?
Oh, we've got plenty in there.
Let's see. Trying to find me some rookie debuts.
We are going to be giving away a prize to the collectors that execute the 100th trade of the day. So we'll announce that when we have it. But all the more reason to get active, make some trades.
Let's see. I'm going to go through some of these rookie debuts. That's just my favorite thing on Top Shot. I'm going to be real. Like, if I had to pick like an overarching category that's just like the thing I love the most, it's the rookie debuts.
I see comment in chat from Ariel Raymer. You should be able to search by team, by player, by serial number, by set. All of those should be available for you. You just need to type in accordingly.
Okay. I see a couple Kennedy Chandlers. We were talking about him last night. Didn't he just sign? Did he sign with the Clippers? Where did he sign? He signed somewhere.
Yeah, was it Portland?
It does track. Let's see. Maybe it was just like a summer league thing. But I thought it was like a little contract. Yeah, I never understood with that. I thought he was like having a pretty decent little rookie year. And then like as a roster move, I think like pre-playoffs. I can't remember exactly who was on the other side of that, but the Grizzlies just straight up waived A first round pick.
First round pick that went to Tennessee, no less. Fan
Indeed.
favorite.
Not for me. Not for an Alabama fan. Not a fan favorite, but you know. Second round pick. I stand corrected. 38th overall. Let's see.
All right, let's
see
do
what I have eligible. I'm in.
Got the trading event going on the homepage. Shout out to Steve in the booth making it happen. I'm going to go to my collection over here. This is the community account. We're going to be giving away some moments. First moment we're going to be giving away is a Scoot Henderson rookie debut.
I'm not going to lie. When I was going through the account, figuring out what I wanted to trade, I was looking at the Scoot, so it's off the board.
Scoot Henderson rookie debut. If you're interested in the Scoot, put Scoot in chat, just like Fun Guy 626 did.
Fun Guy. Batch
All
County
caps,
boy.
Scoot. Sam, how are you feeling about Scoot after his rookie year? You still buying Scoot? You feel like
I'm all in on Scoot. I'm all in on Scoot. You know, I mean, I had to make kind of a stance because again, Brandon Miller's my guy, and so like, it took me a minute to like. It was kind of a mixed feeling because seeing him struggle early on was sort of like, I told y'all, Brandon Miller was the guy. But I mean, I think he was still. Did he lead rookies in assists, or was that Keontae George? I think like he may have led rookies in like assists per game. I think he was really effective on like what was arguably like the worst team in basketball. They were hard to watch at times, and Scoot was a part of that. I know he put up a couple plus minuses of a minus 56, which is, to be real, that's impressive. I'm not even mad. But I mean, you know, he's built like a Mack truck, super physical. If he can, you know, develop his shot, I think he's got the playmaking skills already. And Portland's fun. Portland's definitely like potentially a league pass team this year with Shaden Sharp back. Donovan Clingan on the post. If they, I feel like Jeremy. Well, didn't Jeremy Grant just like sign a new deal?
Jeremy Grant's under contract for 3 more years. Though I would anticipate he is going to get traded fairly soon. The rumor is the Lakers are after him.
Well, to be fair, they're after everybody in the rumors.
They are. That's true. Although he might be a guy that they can actually get.
Probably a good fit. I like Jeremy Grant. He was fun on those that bubble Nugget squad. He's got a sleeper, a great S1 bubble moment too.
If you take a look at Thunder alums in the era of Russ Westbrook post KD, that team was stacked with upcoming talent.
And some guys too that like I thought would be included in that, like obviously Andre Roberson, you know, who's making a comeback, isn't he? Didn't he play? He played in the well, not to the NBA, but he played in the basketball tournament this summer. TBT.
Right.
Yeah, Badge County is mostly
Uh-oh, I think Sam's frozen on us. Warren F., congratulations. You have won the Scoot. Please post your Top Shot username in chat, Warren F., and we will gift that moment over to you.
Ooh.
Sam, you're back. You gave me a scare for a second.
Oh, I left for a moment. Are we all good?
You're all good now.
Close call. I didn't even know it. You should have heard the things I was saying. All right, I want this shade and sharp. But what do I trade you for it? It's pretty funny looking at my account because it is just 1,000 Noah Clownies and Herb Jones. And those are off the table. All right. I think, who am I sending this to?
All right, Oren, you're
Send a little deal here.
your gift is on its way.
Actually, I've got a question for the chat here. I was talking to Steve about it beforehand because he was asking about this basketball. This is from Brandon Miller's first game, which looks great. It's got a nice thick silver Sharpie there. This is another ball that was at my parents' house for like 20 years. To Sam, good luck, Magic Johnson. But it was not taken care of at my parents' house, and it is so faded that you can't even read it. Like, I want to get all my balls, displayed on the ceiling over here. I'm never going to sell it. And I was thinking to myself, maybe it's a stupid thought. Chat, let me know. Do I just like go over it with a Sharpie, make it nice and thick and bold, beautifully? You can obviously, I can put it next to my Platter Pass IO over here, just nice and bold as opposed to faded and ratty. Or do I just let it ride? I mean, clearly I'm just playing with it, so I don't know how much I really care about it anyways, but No, it looks like it's a resounding no.
All right, live update.
Just go play with it.
Live update on the tech. If you have over 500 moments in your collection for this trade event, you can't search another collector's a collection by team. But what you can do is you can search your own collection by team if you want to make an offer that way.
Thunder Hours offer me a trade. Jared, no. I've never hit decline faster. The funny thing is that Jared, aka Thunder Hour, has like 7 unlocked moments, so he's got very limited capital. He's just over here shooting shots.
Jared, which 7 moments are you going to trade me?
It looks like one of them is a Vince Carter TSD.
It's not bad.
For a Jordan Hawkins freshman gym.
I like both of those.
He's now begging me in the chat. Begging is not allowed. Let's see. It looks like I got a couple offers here, I think.
All right, chat. We're giving away an Obi Toppin 3-star rookie. Let's watch the moment. If I recall correctly, corner 3 off of an IQ assist. Big day for Knicks fans in 2020. We were all way too excited about that.
I'm guessing you do remember correctly.
All right, to enter the giveaway, type Obi, all caps in chat. You know what to do. All right, Sam, let's talk a little bit about the Eastern Conference because we've got a very crowded conference over here.
On both sides of the conference. So there's a crowded top and there's a crowded bottom.
And one would argue almost a crowded middle. And the reason I bring it up is I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast earlier in the week, and they rattled off 7 teams of who they thought could be, second round contenders, and Indiana was more or less left off the list. someone called out, hey, we haven't even gotten to Indiana. They made the conference finals last year. So I'm gonna name 4 teams. You stack rank based on the record you think they'll finish with. You don't need to tell me the record, but
Okay.
where in the standings will they finish? And
Okay.
the 4 teams I'm going to throw out there for you are Indiana, Orlando, Cleveland, and Milwaukee.
So this is not a ranking 1 through 4. This is like if I think Cleveland's going to finish 7th.
Correct.
Or the prior. Okay. First one, Indiana. Honestly, I don't know what they did to get worse. I don't know why. I feel like they didn't have Benedict Mathurin to close the year. They missed Hallie for like a decent stretch there. I thought they were going to miss Hallie for the rest of the year with that quad injury. So I don't know why. I'm going to say 3rd. I'm going 3rd here. It feels like Celtics are pretty locked in at the 1. I would probably, I'm kind of going off. Yeah, I feel like 3 is fair for. I'm going to say 3 for Indiana. And then next is what? Orlando? Oh, man. I'm going to go. I feel like I'm going to go 5, which is where they were this year, right?
Orlando was the
so.
5 seed.
Yeah, I think they're going to run the 5 seed back again. Cleveland. Oh, that team bores me. They just bore me, man. They're really good players. They're really, like fundamentally sound. Evan Mobley, honestly, I was talking about this recently. Evan Mobley's snatch block package on Top Shot is kind of elite. Like all of his block moments are snatch blocks. So great, fundamentally sound. I don't think he's taking the offensive step that he needs to. I'm gonna say Cleveland takes a little dip here. I'm gonna say they go from the 4 seed to the 6 seed.
Okay.
Milwaukee. I love the guys. I still stand by like a healthy Giannis is just the most dominant player in the league, if not just the best player. But they're getting a little, Middleton's getting old, getting a little bit more injury prone. Lillard just another year older. I don't know what they did to get better. They're going to need guys like they're going to be leaning on like Marjan Beauchamp and Ajax to step up, and I just don't know if those guys are really ready yet. So I'm going to probably put them. Let's see. I feel like if it might have to be like 4 or 7 at this point, and I don't feel comfortable with 4. But I'm going to say Giannis has a healthier year. I'm going to say they kind of get it together. And as I say that, I remember that Doc Rivers is their basketball coach. So I'm going to say 7. I'm going to say that Milwaukee takes a dip here because I just.
Wow, that would not bode well for their future. I will call out they had a good offseason, given limited flexibility. They brought in 3 veterans that I think are going to get minutes. DeLon Wright, good perimeter defender, athletic, brings a lot of what they were missing, point of attack defense. Gary Trent, good corner shooter, bring him in, kind of upgrade or depending on how you feel about Malik Beasley, more or less a lateral move there. And then last but not least, Taurean Prince, who, it seems like they just kind of wanted to get someone that could play, stretch 4. I'm not the biggest Taurean Prince guy, but he's a serviceable 8th or 9th man, I'd say, to be fair. So, I think they're a little bit deeper than they probably were last year, but a lot of how you feel about Milwaukee kind of comes down to how you feel about Damian Lillard, whether last year was, moving cities, divorce, coming in out of shape because he wanted to stay healthy before the trade. Like if you buy that narrative, super viable narrative to buy, then you'd think he's having a big comeback year and they're going to be fine. If you think that Damian Lillard is on a similar trajectory to where Kemba Walker was with the Celtics, where good numbers, can still shoot, looks the part, but more kind of flash than substance when you factor in the defense and the kind of two-way versatility, then I think, they're going to be in trouble. But yeah, I was surprised you put Indiana 3rd. I'll be honest. I think that
We're streaming. Let's give some hot takes. I think
All
they don't.
right,
I think they got
Eisenberg.
better. I think they're young. I think Spicy P's got another year there under his belt. I love all the young guys. I mean, Andrew Nimhart just came out of nowhere. I like Ben Shepherd. I think that Jarris Walker is going to be more in the mix this year. I think Miles Turner is like kind of criminally underrated. It's kind of funny that he's just like casually this 7-foot dude that can stroke it from three, get you 3 or 4 blocks a game. And we mostly know him for his Lego collection, feels a little underrated. Probably because he's in Indiana. I think everything in Indiana is probably underrated. Or appropriately
I will
rated.
say this about Miles Turner. If Joel Embiid played for France or played for Cameroon, who would have gotten that third center spot on USA? I think he probably was very much there in the mix with maybe the Chet Holmgrens of the world. But yeah, in the spirit of hot takes, I'll kind of match you one for one. I think that the New York Knicks are going to finish with the number 1 seed in the East. And I have 2 reasons for thinking as much. Number 1, I think on Boston's side, gun to my head, Boston is still the favorite to win the championship next season, even with me saying the Knicks are going to finish with the 1 seed. But I think the Boston Celtics are going to take next regular season as more of an opportunity to make sure that they are fresh for the repeat rather than optimizing to get home court through the playoffs. And if that's the case, who more than anyone is going to be making sure his team is going all out every single night for 82 games, and that's Tom Thibodeau. You bring in Mikal Bridges, Mr. 82 games. You have a roster that is now finally deep enough to go 10 deep pretty consistently. And again, on the Boston side, few injury concerns on their end. On the Philly side, Joel Embiid's going to get ample load management. Now, Indiana might be the team coming out of nowhere that we don't see coming. Cleveland, I really like the coaching change. I think Kenny Atkinson's an excellent coach. I think he's an excellent developer, so that's going to be super interesting. Overall, I just feel like the Knicks as the 1 seed that's my hot take going into the year, and I feel okay about it. I mean, gotta hope for better injury health from Julius Randle and OG Anunoby, but they have a good team. There are a lot of guys that give it all every single night in the regular season, and that's all you kind of need.
They're forced to give it all. 44 and a half minutes a night. I think Mikal Bridges is probably going to be on track to play 84 games. Yep. He's going to be the first guy since Wilt to average over 48 minutes a night for an entire season. But I mean, I don't disagree with you. Yeah, Tibbs is going to go hard. I don't think Julius Randle's too injury prone. Not nearly as much as OG. But yeah, I'd love to see 70 games out of OG. I don't need 82. It pains me to like the Knicks roster the way that I like the Knicks roster. Doesn't feel right, but here we are. It's a really fun team.
The vibes are very strong. It's a lot of likable guys, and I feel like they have this recipe where Jalen Brunson, there's some, you hear it in New York often, and you don't use the word lightly, but there's a little bit of Jeter-esque kind of aura about him. Just great leader, team first guy, lead by example, not the most vocal, very likable. Fans love him. And he somehow managed to kind of get everyone to buy in, including Julius Randle, that he's the captain, recently named the captain. Trivia question for you, Samuel D. Who was the most recent Knicks captain prior to Jalen Brunson?
It's been a minute. I saw a graphic with that recently, because it's a deep cut, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's deep. I'll give you the year. Deep. I'll give you the year even if it's helpful.
Okay.
Unless
it won't be, but yeah.
2018. What as Knicks fans, we look back fondly on 2018 as an incredibly impressive display of incompetence.
I don't know. Let me. I'm going to go a step further because, like, You can keep giving me hints, but I'm going to look at the roster.
Well, I'll give the hint to the chat.
Yeah. I'll cheat, but you won't.
Dave Fizdale, the coach at the time, called this guy our Draymond Green. This guy was the Knicks' Draymond Green.
Oh, yeah. I think I know it. Because it was weird.
CJ got it. Lance Thomas. So Jalen Brunson joining the indistinguishable company that is Lance Thomas, Patrick Ewing.
Taking the crown from Lance Thomas feels a little bit like, what kind of crown is this? And then for Lance Thomas taking the crown from Patrick Ewing, they really didn't have a captain for, I mean, when did he go to the Magic? That's like early 2000s.
Yeah, I want to say that there was a captain in the mid 2000s, but trying to think of who that may have been. It's possible David Lee had a season there. I honestly don't remember. He had captain vibes for a year, a real hustle guy on a 30 and 52 team.
Now I got to see,
Looking at chat, a few questions. Boston-based asked, does Porzingis being out for half the season help Tatum's chances for MVP or hurt it? Has to help it. I mean, I think that Tatum's probably going to be coming back to the league next season after the Olympic stint with a little bit of vengeance and trying to make it happen. That would be my guess. I think that if I was a betting man, I would bet on the field over Jason Tatum. I don't really have a great instinct on who's the most likely to win MVP next season. And the safe money is always going to be with Jokic. I could feel like Giannis, here's Samuel D saying that they're going to be the 7 seed, grinds it out, gets the Bucks to the 3 seed and wins MVP. KP in chat calling out Luka. I mean, that's probably the favorite if we're being honest, just off the back of last season, full season ahead. Interesting roster alongside him. Speaking of, let's do the Obi giveaway, and then I'm going to go market shopping. Sam, let's do a little market shopping together, and we'll give away, let's call it a $50 moment, $100 moment. We'll find something that compels us. We'll give it away in chat. Next giveaway for the OB goes to Jesse Lemon. Jesse Lemon, please put your Top Shot username in chat, and we will give that away.
I don't love anything more than I love window shopping with a $50 limit on NBA Top Shot.
Well, how about we up the stakes then? Let's call it window shopping with a $150 limit and see what we can get.
I'm having fun.
All right, Jesse Lemon, put your username in chat. We'll get you that OB top-in. Next giveaway going to be coming up. But chat, let's play a little 20 questions over here, or give me a little bit of, don't name players, don't name teams. Maybe ask me, how would I frame it to the audience? Something along the lines of underrated player, overrated player, underrated team, underrated moment, whatever that looks like. Put prompts in chat that help kind of inspire me to get on the search for something cool. Recently did one of these, Sam. This is a $2 moment that I'd be happy to give away, but I was on a stream a couple months back with Dream Shaker, and he asked me what's the most underrated moment of the series, or what's a foment that I always get excited about. And the answer to that is the Andre Drummond base set moment from this season, because I just think the storyline here is epic. And I think that there's no better place to start than to watch this moment, and then we'll play a subsequent moment that kind of matches it. So that ankle breaker, pretty awesome. Andre Drummond, not known for the ankle breakers, but
Classic Andre.
you take it a step further and notice the court, notice the thumbnail on Chet Holmgren's Top Shot debut, who's again guarded by none other than Andre Drummond. This is a 3-star rookie from obviously Chet Holmgren's debut game. What does that mean? Well, if you look at game date on this moment, you look at the game date on the Andre Drummond moment, that is also a Top Shot debut 3-star rookie moment from Chet Holmgren the other way on the Andre Drummond. So one of my favorite kind of Menendez brothers in the back of the Mark Jackson trading card.
And not quite so dark either. So I like it.
Not so well. The ankle breaking, right? It could have been bad for Chet on day one in his NBA career, but yeah, this is a underrated one as far as storytellers go, and massive credit to Brandon Soul on our team making it happen, doing the curation behind the scenes. So yeah. All right, now let's do some window shopping. Let's find something pretty cool that we're excited about. Underrated NBA rookie. All right, DCMG with the comment. So that's the prompt. Sam, who's an underrated NBA rookie, or who's a rookie from the past few years in the era of Top Shot that you think is underrated? I'm gonna take a second.
I'll go homegrown here because I was seeing his rookie rev at the 150 mark. I'm going Mark Williams. I love a big man, and I feel like he was just a block machine. People kind of forget about him. He played like 19 games last year. So he had a disappointing sophomore season. Charlotte's notoriously like horrible with reporting injuries. So there was like this big shroud of like, it's anywhere from like, did he just tweak his back and they're tanking, all the way to will he ever play again? So I'm gonna go with my homegrown guy here. I think Mark Williams is incredibly underrated. Keegan Murray is probably another guy. I think he had a huge sophomore year, on top of obviously like literally a record-breaking rookie year.
All right, so these guys went, I think, within 2 picks of each other in the draft. But if you, as the Hornets fan that you are, if Detroit came calling and said, "Hey, we'll give you Jalen Duren for Mark Williams,"
yes,
you would take Jalen Duren
so fast. I'd throw a pick. I'd go. I love Jalen Duren.
All right. Well, it looks like we can't soil the Mark Williams hype and excitement and then give away his moment. So we're gonna go Keegan Murray in that case. What do you like about Keegan Murray?
I mean, he is very understated, and I love a rookie guy who comes in, knows his role. Obviously, he was like, I think that maybe comes from playing at a university like Iowa. You're not really coming in with like massive brand appeal. And then you go from, are they in Des Moines? I don't know. You go from Iowa to Sacramento, and then you just casually break the all-time rookie 3-pointer record. I think he's just got an inside-out game. He plays both sides of the ball, and I think he fits in really well in Sacramento in a way that, like, maybe he, actually, I think he's a guy that would fit in anywhere. I think that's the thing that I like about him. There's a lot of rookies where it's like, yeah, he played really well, but look at his scenario. Like, he got a better opportunity than this guy. I think Keegan's a guy that would earn the opportunity on 30 rosters just because of the way he plays. He's kind of like a hybrid wing.
When Risa Shea was getting a lot of hype, people were kind of struggling to come up with who is his comp, who is Zachary Risa Shea's comp. Reminded me a little bit of Keegan Murray, and it posed an interesting question in my head. If Atlanta was offered Keegan Murray for the number 1 pick, would they / should they do it? And where I settled there was absolutely. I think I would take Keegan Murray over anyone in this draft as far as future upside.
It's tough because I think having the number 1 pick, totally different than having the number 2 pick. Having the number 1 pick is like the equivalent on Top Shot of just like, you just love to rip. Ripping is fun. Making a pick at the number 1 spot is fun. And look, you're the Hawks. Like, how much does it really matter if you get it right anyways? You're still the Hawks. Whoever you take it won. Whatever you do with that pick. you're still the Atlanta Hawks. You've already fumbled the rebuild with Trey, and you kind of are already starting over again. I feel like you take the number one pick. You take your guy, and you realize like I'll probably get fired if this is wrong, but I think whoever was behind the number one pick this year, probably getting fired anyways in a couple of years. I just don't think there was like a surefire or not. You weren't definitely going to get fired, but like there's a pretty good chance that whoever you take it won, especially considering that it was Alex Sarr and Reese Shea. Feels like, I mean, honestly, after Summer League, looks like Reed Shepherd is pretty quickly already maybe the guy.
Reed Shepherd definitely looks like the guy. Excited about that. All right, so 3 quick updates. If you've executed a big trade, and I'll constitute a big trade as involving either a 3-star rookie moment, a rare moment, or a legendary moment, please share the trade in chat. Let's review it as a group. Let's give people grades. Let's Kevin Pelt it the hell out of this and let people know how we feel. Update for Quick Rips. If you want an WMGLE Quick Rip pack, over 480,000 reservations on the Quick Rips. There are about 24,000 packs or so. So not everyone's going to get one. Only about 15 minutes left to reserve a pack. Let's see if we can smash that 500,000 reservations. Good luck to you all getting a Quick Rip. I think we're at 483,000 specifically. So let's see if we can get to 500,000. We've got 15 minutes to do it. Let's put it this way. If we get 500,000, I'm going to put another $100 into the giveaway basket. We're going to do more window shopping. Next moment coming up, we're giving away this Keegan Murray NBA Honors highlight reel mix from last season. Let's get to 500K. NF Tweaker, if you reserve 420,000, that's a decent chance he'll get some. Cool. Jesse Lemon, you won the Obi Toppin giveaway. Please put your username in chat. Didn't see it the first time. Now we're going to do the Keegan giveaway. And let's see. Code word for Keegan giveaway. Sam, should we stick with Keegan or should we try something new?
I don't know. Keegan Murray is the kind of guy who like, does he have a nickname? What's B-Ball Ref say? I think we probably stick with Keegan.
Chris's brother? Is that what we go
Yeah,
with?
Chris's brother. Twin.
All right, perfect. We got Jesse's username. Give that away right after we do some Keegan giveaways. All right, all caps Keegan. If you put in Keegan as the code word, but it was lowercase, just rewrite it. We're taking all caps Keegan here.
He not even on B-Ball Ref does he have a nickname. We got to fix that. He's too good.
What was the adjective you used to describe him? Understated? I think there's no better way to kind of explain
Mr. Understated
of Keegan Murray that he doesn't even have. You can look up any NBA player, and chances are the over-under is 3.5 nicknames on Basketball Reference.
Absolutely.
But to not have any is pretty wild.
That's a shame.
Should we start a campaign? Should Badge County lead the campaign of getting Keegan Murray a nickname? Top Shot Kingdom, Samuel D. collab. Chewy, where are you? Let's make this happen. It's not acceptable that Keegan doesn't have a nickname at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen no nickname. I think even guys from like 1953 on Basketball Reference have a nickname.
Vinyls with a really good call in chat. Threegan Keegan. I think I've probably heard Doug Christie say that on League Pass before. Okay, we've got a bunch of submissions. Going to let it breathe for a few more minutes. Get your username or keep putting keyword Keegan in. We'll follow up with the winner. Threegan's pretty good. Not a hater on that one. All right, let's go to the West. Sam.
Okay.
We've got a few teams that were on the outside looking in on the playoffs last year. I'm including the Kings in there. I'm not counting the play-in as getting in. You've got, of these 3 teams, who's making the playoffs? Actually, let's extend it to a fourth team. I'll add the Clippers into the mix because the Clippers were in the playoffs last year, but they
You
might
could
not
just leave
be.
them out. That's fine.
Who's making the playoffs? Warriors, Rockets, Kings, Clippers. Let's say you can only take two.
Okay, I can take two.
Realistically, you can only take one, but we'll say for the sake of this, to make it a little easier, you can only take two.
I want to say the Dubs. I'm torn between the. Well, that's tough. The Clippers are out. I can toss them. That's quick. The Rockets, if they just didn't make the Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks moves last offseason, I think I'd love them so much more. They just don't fit in what's happening in Houston, and then taking Reed Shepherd. They've just got so much young talent, and obviously Ime is capable. I feel like the Rockets, there's too many like weird headlines. Like they're going to go after Kevin Durant. Be like, Ime, chill, man. Y'all need like 2 or 3 more years before you go all in like that. Şengün is the man. Şengün. I'm going to take the Kings. Kings, Warriors, Rockets, Clippers in that order. I feel like Podziemski is going to take a nice little second year leap, not having to sort of compete. And I feel like, there's obviously sort of, you have to almost cede a little bit of your bravado when you're like playing behind or at the end of the season in front of a legend like Klay Thompson. I feel like he was probably trying to make that relationship work a little bit. It's got to feel a little bit weird to take a legend's spot in the starting five. But I love Brandon Podziemski. He was like one of my favorite guys. I had a pretty nice little stack of him this year. So I don't know. I feel like the Dubs could do it. After seeing what, maybe it's just a recency bias, but seeing what Steph just did, hard to kind of go against Steph Curry there.
Very fair. All right. Well, massive update. We've got to 500K orders on these quick rips. Congratulations, everyone. Let's make it another 150 goes in. So we got 79 going to Keegan. That's going to be given away. We're going to pull that username right now, or at least the winner from chat. We're going to do another, let's call it $75, $80 moment. Then we're going to do a whole nother $150 going away to the chat. So nicely done, everyone. That's what the community is all about, rallying around each other. To humbly give you my take on it, Samuel D.
Please.
And Lee, fasten your seatbelt. Lee Tran in chat, fasten your seatbelt. Rockets are making the playoffs, and here's why. It's the move no one sees coming, but it's going to happen. They're going to get Jimmy Butler. That's my hot take. They're going to make a trade move, get Jimmy Butler, whether they're giving up Jabari Smith, whether they're giving up the Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason, and 2 first-round pick package, whatever it may be. They're bringing Jimmy Butler into the fold. Jalen Green might be going to Miami. I don't know. I think they need to figure out the Tyler Hero situation before they bring in a guy like Jalen Green. But the trade just makes too much sense. Jimmy Butler from Texas. Ime Udoka wants dogs on the team. And they're in win now mode, right? So the two guys that strike me as very viable, Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle. And I think the Knicks are going to see how the season goes with Randle. I think the Heat are going to read the tea leaves and realize they've got to make their move now if they want to kind of salvage as much value for Jimmy as they can get.
Yeah, I love it. I obviously, like, as a Celtics fan, everything's fine now. We've forgiven Ime. We're doing okay, but it definitely it threw a wrench in a lot of stuff. And so seeing him come back and then go to one of my favorite league pass teams is a little bit of mixed feelings. But I think Jalen Green's underrated. I think Jabari Smith's underrated. I think Şengün's underrated. I think Tari Eason had some injury stuff last year. I think he's underrated. Love Reed Shepherd. Maybe he should have been the number 1 pick. And Thompson, arguably, like, well, and not in that draft class, you won't be the most versatile dude, but like beyond Wemby, I don't know if there's a dude in the draft who can do more for you on both sides of the court than Amin Thompson. They're just incredible. And then Cam Whitmore, just hanging out in the back there.
That's right.
Just like honestly, maybe like the most freak athlete of the class last year, just came in completely out of the rotation, all the way to like can drop 30 points in like 12 minutes. He's just one of those dudes that loves to chuck it, and he's so physical. I saw that Jabari. I think was he talking to Tatum? I think he may be talking to Jaylen Brown. One of those two guys, and Jabari Smith. I think it went semi-viral where Jabari was sort of saying like, "What do you say to a guy who's just going into his third year and he's kind of had, taken some lumps along the way." And just like the humility of asking that. And he's an Auburn guy. So like if I'm saying positive words about Jabari Smith as an Alabama fan, I'm a fan. I really think that like he's got the size and the skills that just scream today's game. But yeah, they're in win now mode. And it's a little funny to me that they think they're in win now mode, but they clearly are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually curious for Lee's perspective in chat, and Lee, feel free to type it out. You are a resident Rockets correspondent here. Rank the Rockets in order of most untouchable to most touchable. Like you put it in chat saying more likely Van Vliet, Brooks, or Jalen will get traded. I'm curious, are Rockets fans more bullish on Reed Shepherd today, or are they more bullish on Alperen Şengün today? That's an open question. I'm curious. I don't know where Rockets fans are with their roster because everyone on their team is pretty compelling to me. Massive congratulations to Himanshu Singhal, the winner of the Keegan giveaway. Please put your username in chat. We will gift you the Keegan. Congratulations. Chewy, we want you and Badge County to start a Threegan campaign. We looked up on Basketball Reference, and there are no nicknames for Keegan Murray yet, and I think that's an indictment on the Kings fans. Chewy, I'm putting it on you and the Top Shot Kingdom. Let's get Keegan Murray a nickname on Basketball Reference this season. All right, we've got Singhal 22 going to get this Keegan Murray NBA Honors moment. And we're going to do another giveaway. Let's see. Singhal, put it in chat. Do you want serial number 74 or do you want serial number 98? They're both on the table for you. The reason I ask is the winner of the first giveaway is one of the serials. So I don't want to. 74 it is. All right, this one will be gifted over to you after the show. Congratulations. Going to get Samuel D up here. Chat, give us a team. We're gonna break down a team now. I think we did a decent, 5 on the Rockets. We did some time on the Kings as well. Can bring it back to the Eastern Conference.
Sorry, I lost you there.
Oh, all good. Welcome back. All right, we got Lee saying that Şengün is still top dog. That makes sense to me.
I'm in on that.
All right, getting quite a few people asking for a breakdown on the Pistons. I feel like that's almost a little too depressing. Let's talk Orlando Magic basketball. All right, so state of the state. Let's take it back to the year. Let's call it 2020.
The year is 2020.
what I'm trying to ask, Sam, in a very roundabout way, is where does Paolo Banchero rank among the top picks in drafts since, let's call it the age of Top Shot, 2019, 2020? So Zion, the next
I love
season,
Paolo. Yeah.
you got Anthony Edwards. The next season, you got Paolo. No, you got Cade. Then you got Paolo. And then you've got obviously
I mean,
Wemby.
it's a pretty stacked class. Um, I mean, honestly, among those, I'm probably, speaking of depressing Pistons, I'm probably putting Cade at the bottom. Um, Wemby's locked in at the top, I think, for me, and then Edwards. And then it's kind of a toss up between Paolo and Zion. Zion just got some health things. Like if Zion is playing 70 games, like I'm choosing Zion over Paolo. But Paolo is the first dude who he looks and he plays like LeBron. Like that's the comp. I mean, look how big he is. He's a 3-level scorer. I don't know if he's got like sort of the IQ that LeBron had from like 18 years old. Well, I think obviously the IQ is going to be the biggest thing missing. In that comp, but like physically, I think he's got like sort of that early LeBron takeover mode. But obviously LeBron didn't have the fronds that he sort of had to play off of. And the Magic got better with Paolo faster, maybe than LeBron did with Cleveland. And I think the running mates that LeBron got early on were not on the same, like they weren't building the same kind of team that they're building down in Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, hard to disagree with that. I guess Paolo and Zion are more or less in the same tier of that. Zion, obviously, I think when healthy, slightly different beast, but the when healthy is the most important phrase there. He is injured quite a lot. Paolo coming into the draft, and I've seen many mixtape on Twitter or YouTube showing just the mannerisms and the move by move comping Paolo to LeBron. So I definitely see where you're coming from. For me, Paolo kind of reminds me a little more like Carmelo. Obviously, Carmelo, by the end of his career, had a pretty prolific three-point shot. But that's kind of, to me, not as much of LeBron's such a transcendent passer. And Paolo doesn't really have the passing quite yet. But one thing that you don't really realize about Paolo until you see him up close at a game, he's huge. Like
Massive.
Truly, if you didn't know any better, you'd think he was, he might be bigger than Bam Adebayo. No exaggeration. Just a monster of a guy.
I think like shoulder everything in consideration. Yeah, I think like probably taller, but definitely. I mean, he could be 6'10", 280. Like I don't know what he's,
Right.
What kind of weight he's carrying. Yeah, the LeBron. LeBron's passing is obviously something that Paolo doesn't quite possess yet. That was the thing that I didn't know. I was the only time I've ever seen LeBron in person. I was on tour, happened to be in Cleveland during the playoffs. Figured that playoff tickets were going to be really expensive, especially it was Game 4. They were up 3-0 on the Raptors and ended up at the LeBronto game. It was like $40 a ticket for the nosebleeds in Cleveland. But honestly, having like that bird's eye view of LeBron, that was like the first time that I realized how insane the passes were. They look great on TV. It's obviously impressive, but seeing them from like the top level of Quicken Loans.
We may have lost Sam again. All right, so we're going to go through the roster while we wait for Sam to come back here. We're going to deep dive into Orlando Magic territory. Now, you watch them against Cleveland, goes to 7. Don't really have an answer for Donovan Mitchell. Jalen Suggs on paper should have been that answer. I think Jalen Suggs, by the 7th game of that series, just pretty worn out. Totally fair. It does sting a little bit last year, not this most recent draft, but the year before, using the 6th overall pick on Anthony Black, just to kind of throw him into a logjam there with Cole Anthony and obviously Jalen Suggs, who I think at the time they didn't realize was going to emerge so dominantly. They're not bringing back Markelle Fultz. They bring in KCP. Thank you, Tech Ball, for calling that out. So now they have a backcourt of defensive dynamos. You have a really, really good point of attack defender in KCP. You have an excellent team defender and physical powerhouse in Jalen Suggs. Franz Wagner, one of the best team defenders in the entire NBA. Paolo Banchero, as we were just talking about with Sam, huge, huge body on the court. Not necessarily a great defender, but totally stout and passable. And when locked in, can do that. And then the center is really the question mark position, Sam. It's just kind of waxing a little poetic on the past year or so of Jeff Weltman team building in Orlando. Wendell Carter on paper is the guy. If you ask many Magic fans, they would say that is the position they wanted to upgrade the most. They put their name in the ring this offseason for Isaiah Hardenstein, ended up getting outbid by OKC. But you look at their bench and you look at the general depth that they have. Jonathan Isaac, obviously, as Bill Simmons calls him, the Bill Russell for 16 minutes a game, just a elite defender. And then I'll say this is another hot take that I have on this most recent draft class. Tristan da Silva was a top 5 prospect for me coming in. I see a lot of resemblance to guys that have just worked in the NBA. Like my Tristan da Silva call is prime Rockets Chandler Parsons. I think he's just going to be a good shooter from day one. He's a good connector. He knows how to defend. He's athletic. So somewhere in the Chandler Parsons to Cam Johnson range of like how effective is that player going to be? But I don't quite understand why he fell so far in the draft because he kind of does everything. And the only knock against him is that he's a little older. But if you're Orlando and you're trying to take the step now, you don't really want to bring another project in. You want to kind of get guys into the rotation. I think Anthony Black, Cole Anthony, and Wendell Carter kind of packaged all together could potentially land you a pretty good big man. I know that fans, and with good reason, a lot of the team just loves Cole Anthony. Great locker room guy, brings a little swagger and bravado to the organization that they haven't had in a long time. So I don't know if they're necessarily looking to move anyone, but that is kind of what I would look at. If they want to take the next step into that upper echelon in the East, I'd say it's the I-95 corridor. You've got Boston, you've got Philadelphia, you've got New York. And I think any amalgamation of those three in any sequence could end up in the finals. Depends on health, obviously, as the number one factor. Then you have that second tier that we talked about. We got the Milwaukees, the Clevelands, the Indianas, the Orlandos. And I think if Orlando wants to take that leap, they just need to shore up that center position. Because as we just kind of described, positions 1 through 4 on the court, very, very solid.
Yeah, the KCP pickup was great.
KCP, fun little player. And there was a time when he almost got a 4-year, $90 million deal, I want to say like 5 years ago, had the DUI. And then everyone he got a 1-year deal with the Lakers, 1 year, $16 million, I believe. Then got a
1-year deal where he couldn't play outside of California.
Exactly.
Multiple 1-year deals, concurrent 1-year deals.
He's moved around a bit since, but I think power to him. He's figured out how to kind of transition from being a top 10 pick that had high expectations of being, more of a star in the league. And now he's just really figured out the role player life quite well. Update from the booth. Final tally, 521,000 quick rip orders placed. So if you're getting a quick rip pack, you're in luck. Save those. We're also, we got 2,500 quick rips going up for trade tickets in about 2 hours. So a theme that you probably noticed over the last week, redouble down into ways for everyone to play along with Top Shot, be it trade ticket packs, crafting challenges, burn leaderboards, trade in leaderboards. It's all coming together here. We're back to having fun. We're excited for what we have in store, what's ahead. Obviously, a lot of stuff on the horizon. We've got a bunch more on the run it back side. Stay tuned for updates there. We're really excited about the next class of players. A little alpha pro tip for you all. Maybe check out who Brandon Soul wished a happy birthday to on Twitter yesterday. That might give you a hint on who might be a part of an upcoming class of Run It Back. We're excited, and airplane mode, no comment, but me addressing the comment itself is a comment, if you catch my drift. All right. We're excited. 521,000. That is more orders than I was expecting. Nicely done, everyone.
People love a W.
Camila Cardoso. Ultimate.
People love a 101.
Packs. All right, let's do a little more window shopping. I delivered the last 2 giveaways. Let's get a prompt in there. Anyone want to put something in chat for me to look up? Don't get too specific. Let's see where we can take it.
What are we shopping for here?
It's a good question. And yeah, shout out to Words Taste Weird. I was not going to call out Goga Badatse because he spurned my Knicks this offseason. Feeling a little bitter about that. I was, that's my favorite part of free agency, Sam, and I'm sure most NBA sickos in chat can agree. That nice little 72-hour window where you go from like vaguely hearing about a guy to obsessively watching YouTube videos and every highlight you've ever put together and falling in love with the guy on the faint hope that your team brings that guy in, only to miss on that guy, feel heartbroken, convince yourself that actually he wasn't that good anyway. There's a reason I hadn't really heard of him that much. And then you rinse and repeat that whole system. So we went from Goga Badatse to Xavier Tillman to whoever else was up next on that list of who the Knicks could get for the mid-level exception.
Who was it eventually? Did they sign anybody?
Well, so here's what I think is going to happen. We brought back, we as in me and Leon Rose,
yes,
the duo that's running the Knicks together. We brought back Precious Achiuwa. We gave him a slightly elevated deal, about $6 million or so annually, which we also still have the taxpayer mid-level exception, which can get up to, I believe, $4 or $5 million. The idea is, I think at deadline, we are going to package the Precious contract with some picks and maybe a mid-level exception signing that we do, pair that all together, get a guy in the 10 to 12, $13 million range, which would still stay under the second apron. And now if you roll off the list, this is the most boring kind of inside baseball, but if you run down the list of who the Knicks backup center is going to be, part of it depends on how Mitchell Robinson performs, how healthy he stays.
All of it.
But I think you're looking at a pretty short list of Jonas Valanciunas, Larry Nance, Wendell Carter Jr., and maybe, just maybe, re-exploring the Walker Kessler conversations. And I think that's what you're going to roll with. And if none of those come to fruition, the Knicks are going to take their chances that come playoff time, you got Mitchell Robinson if he's healthy. You're going to see what Precious can give you. Jericho Sims, I think, come playoff time, you're probably not even going to give too many minutes to, and you're just going to play everyone up a bit. You're going to give OG Anunoby some minutes. You're going to give Julius Randle some minutes. You're just going to see what sticks. And the dirty little secret about the Knicks is when they went up against Joel Embiid in the first round of the playoffs, the single best Joel Embiid defender on the team was OG Anunoby. So you can't give him that for 40 minutes, but OG can play against pretty much anyone.
What would Tibbs do with a deep team? Like, what would he do with the roster that was like, I gotta give this guy 20 minutes?
Well, look, I think we've seen that. We saw he just doesn't play ball. Evan Fournier, our second top paid player, just rode the bench. And Evan Fournier at the time, granted not a very illustrious Knicks career, was coming off the back of setting the Knicks franchise record for threes in a season. The next season comes back to camp. Actually, we're just going to go with Quentin Grimes for all of your minutes.
That's the thing is it's like if it works, it works. If it works, it's a great roster. But like when it doesn't, and you're just like you feel like next man up is a little bit more under Tibbs. Next man up is a little bit more thrust into a big role, than just be like, all right, I've been playing like 17 minutes a night. Now I'm playing like 27 minutes a night. It's like, no, I haven't touched the court in like 3 weeks, and now I'm playing in the second round. I'm starting.
That's right. All right. So on that note, I've got 2 good prompts here. Perfect Cereals prompt, player with a comeback season. John Solanap's prompt, most underrated international player. We're going to hit on both of these. I'm going to make my pick for player with a comeback season, and the homer in me, which you guys have seen all chat long, is going to get us a Julius Randle Top Shot debut. And I'm specifically looking at the MGLE. And my reasons for why Julius Randle is going to have a big comeback season, it's pretty simple. He had never looked better than the 13 or 14 games between when the RJ for OG trade happened to when he got injured at the end of January. It was by far the best he had ever looked. And all indications I've heard from several within the Knicks organization and also agents around the league. He hired a trainer that basically pointed out his shot chart and hammered into him in training for a 2-3 week stretch after struggling from the perimeter. If you're not getting to the free throw line 5-6 times a game, you're messing up with your approach. And it totally changed his outlook on the game for the right reasons. So, Julius Randle, put in
LaMelo
chat.
Ball.
That's your take?
That's my guy. That's my.
All right.
You can go. Give away this moment here.
Julius Randle, use code word Randle in chat. We're going to give that one away. We're going to be closing the trade window at 4:00. So you've got just under 2 hours to get your trades in. Randle in chat as the code word. Sam, we're going to also, so I'm going to buy this. I'll gift it in a bit based on the giveaways in chat. You're going to go to LaMelo. Is there a specific LaMelo you want to give away?
Ooh, what's funny is I was actually looking through, like my favorite thing about the app is it is the best way to just like binge moments. And I was going through LaMelo balls because I've honestly I've been known a little bit as a LaMelo hater. I don't love his general spirit. But I think I saw him in an ankle brace yesterday. He's actually wearing ankle braces. So like I'm all in. I think Charles Lee's the dude. So I was like, I need to bulk up my LaMelo collection. The rookie MGLE, I think is that the triple double?
The rookie MGLE is the underhand full court pass to Miles.
Okay.
Bridges.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, by the way, is probably the flashiest.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's so LaMelo. It's an awesome moment, but it's also like why he's hard to watch because like 2 or 3 of those times the ball goes out of bounds, and it's like, dude, it's a 3-point game with like a minute and a half left. Why are you doing that? But then he does that sometimes, and it's awesome. And iconically, the brief description on it is LaMelo Ball turns head and returned from injury. He's had a lot of those.
Sure has. Not as many as his brother.
Man, yeah, that bums me out. That one bums me out.
Yeah. His brother is one of the most admirable players. And it's a very specific word for it, but he plays basketball the right way. Yeah, I avoided WJF the last time around. I saw the hate in chat on that, so I threw him the bone here. But we might need to have a talk, WJF. Let's hold these moments. All right, let's we're going to do the giveaways for these two. Let's just round up the next two. The other prompt was most underrated international player. Anyone come to mind for you?
We already talked about Şengün. That one feels like the answer for me.
All right. Şengün. Little rookie MGLE action.
Always.
Let's see it.
It's a staple.
Yeah, he's another guy that's a little bit of a savant out there.
And this one's so good.
All right, buying up the Şengün MGLE. And for me, I've had a minute to think about it. Still kind of struggling to get someone I'm feeling excited to kind of sing the praises of. You know what? I'm gonna go. Nah. I'm gonna need another minute here. I'm still thinking on it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of conviction there.
Yeah, there was a second there where I'm like, I could throw this guy a big shout out, but the name that keeps coming back to me, if I'm being honest, is Andrew Nembhard. And am I going to do it to myself? Am I going to get, is this the moment?
It's the playoff moment. If that's what you're covering. Because it's got to be.
Yeah, this is a pretty brutal moment, if I'm being honest. I'm going to give someone the legendary instead. I can't face that. Let's see. Also got a nice little for the win rookie moment. Let's see if we can get a nice
great one. I've honestly been eyeing the rookie rev as well.
Let's see if there's a good serial on this one. All right, you know what? The jersey match, top priced moment of this one, but it's his most iconic moment of his career. So we're going to do it.
I love it.
That's what you, community, get for getting that reservation number over 500K. Nicely done, everyone. All right. That's why you sometimes can't just gravitate toward the legendary. Sometimes you have to do a little scouting around, see if there's a special serial there. All right, so we got Şengün, we've got Nembhard.
What's the prompt again?
Well, the prompt was most underrated international player.
Okay.
So we're just going to be giving these away. And Sam, you know what? After we give these away, I'm going to give you the floor. Ask us anything. Ask Top Shot anything. And when I say Top Shot, I'm your guy. So open.
Let's get some questions in the chat. I got some questions, but let's open up the chat. What's the chat got?
Questions in chat. We're going to be giving away these. Put all caps Şengün, all caps Randall, all caps Ball, all caps Nembhard. Those are the four we're giving away. It's a rapid fire of giveaways. All right, we're going to take some stock here. All right, we're going to start with the Randall. Let's see. All right, Burke, congrats. You've won the Julius Randle. Put your Top Shot username in chat, Irk, and you'll get the Julius Randle. Great. We're going to do LaMelo Ball next. Hey, nice little win for Rich DMC. The LaMelo Ball going to Rich DMC. All right. Next up, we've got Şengün. All right, Şengün is going to Doctor Who 4407. Congrats, Şengün. All right, moment of truth. The serial match Nemhard. That's the big one. Ben Boag, congratulations on your Andrew Nemhard. Ben Boag.
Ooh,
Andrew
that's a big one.
Nemhard serial match. That's the big one. Ben Boag, just put your Top Shot username in chat and we'll get to it. Awesome. We'll take all of these for you guys coming up very soon. That was fun.
Yeah, the jersey serial, unexpected. Knicks fandom going hard.
Hey, if I'm going to be the sadist and watch that highlight, might as well do it the right way and get the best of the best of that collectible. All right. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for participating in those. Still monitoring the trade action. Anyone have any notable trades to speak of? Is anyone pleased with the trade they've made so far today?
Oh, I think I sent you an offer. I think I sent the NBA Top Shot community an offer.
Oh, did you? Okay, well,
I think I did.
You should have said so. All right, I did receive an offer. Viewing it right now.
Some rookie TSDs for rookie TSDs.
All right. Nice little Dame Lillard. The Asia Wilson. What do you think? Chat. Good deal? Rip off? What do you think?
Ooh, that Asia Wilson moment is so tough. Talking about snatch blocks earlier. That's a block and then a snatch. Just dropping bows in there.
Chat, the trade is a rare Damian Lillard for Top Shot debuts from Asia and Chelsea Gray. Got Diamond saying looks fair. Fish says deal. I just need one more person. All right, CJ says it's a deal. You know what? Congratulations, Sam. You are now 2/5 of the way toward fielding a pretty elite lineup in fast break.
And also Asia Wilson. I believe that's the first ever W moment, right?
That was, and I believe, don't quote me on it, but chat can go after it a little more aggressively. I believe if you look at the details on that Asia, there's a good 3, 4, 5,000 of those moments still in packs that W fans came and claimed but never opened.
My wife built like her entire Top Shot collection based on that one moment. She just wanted a bunch of Jimmy Butler and Kelly Oubre, her boos, as she calls them. She's got a few boos, and that's what her Top Shot collection is.
All right, so what I'm going to do, Sam, is I'm going to stop sharing for a second here. I'm going to log out of the community account. I'm going to log into my personal account. I'm going to review some of the trades I've got cooking over there.
All right.
And in the meantime, feel free to get your questions going, and happy to.
I'm ready, boss.
All right. Give me 1 second to log in. And I'll show off the offers that have been made, counting on, if I don't have at least a dozen low ball offers from the community here, I'll be a little disappointed. All right. Presenting again. Let's see what I've got. Do I not have any offers? That seems low.
You've been blackballed.
Okay, I think there are a handful of offers out here. Oh, yeah, there are a bunch. All right, let's see what we got. No, I'm not going to trade my OG Fresh Threads. That one's one of my favorites. So appreciate the offer, but I am not going to accept it. All right. Let's see what Shazzy J is offering. Oh wow! Now a lot of details are coming. All right, Shazzy J, throwing out an offer. Can also send a mellow cool cat. I'd have to unlock. All right, let's see what this one is. Now, Sam, just like you, I'm also pretty particular about my collection, so I'm not looking to make trades for the sake of it. But oh, he wants the LeBron MGLE. That is my grail of grails. I can't give that one up. That one's my favorite.
Over 2.
All right. I'm gonna look through these a little bit later on. I can't imagine it's the most fun for a community to have me excitedly look through an offer and then ultimately decline. It's gonna take a lot for it. Cool. Let's Sam, ask away. Let's get into it.
I'm going to start with my number one thing, which is not about like the market or the packs or the prices or the supply or anything. To me, my number one thing that I want to see is like sort of like it's like profile updates, like pride of ownership, something that like, as my collection sort of narrowed, and I think a lot of us have kind of been down this road too, where like maybe when we joined in S1, S2, S3, it was like I want to collect everything. And as we've kind of continued on our collecting journeys. It gets a little bit more refined. Maybe you even, like me, have started to like buy special cereals. I never bought special cereals before, but now that I've got my guys, like Herb Jones, Brandon Miller, I'm going after special cereals. And there's honestly like, it's almost like this. You've got such a rush when either an offer gets accepted or you buy it or whatever. You share it with your friends. Hopefully, you've got a community. Like I'm in Badge County. I have a ton of fun sharing my big buys with people and seeing other people's big buys, and we all celebrate each other. But there's inevitably like sort of that like come down moment afterwards where it's like, I don't know what else I can do with this, like sort of whether it's a special cereal or just like a grail moment in general, like the LeBron MGLE. Sort of like maybe that it comes in the form of like custom playlists where, I can pick my separate moments and it's like bigger than a showcase. Maybe it's all of my favorite Hornets moments or the biggest dunks on Top Shot or, just sort of like getting a little bit of a theme and like I want to put some music on it. I want to just like, because like I said, the app for binging moments is incredible. And I feel like it's sort of an underutilized feature. Just like going to the market or going to your collection, hitting the different, like the full screen view and just swiping like you're on TikTok. If we could have something like that for like custom playlists and I could see your custom playlist, you could see mine, I can see other people's grails. And when I'm looking through theirs, it says, their name on it and it's got their serial number on it. Just sort of like some updates for the product itself, because I feel like we had a really fun season with Wemby. All we had to do to be excited about collecting and ripping and everything. If there's Wembies in the packs, I'm showing up. Like we had supreme elite rookies, and I think Top Shot handled rookie supply incredibly well. It was the best season for rookies ever, even outside of like the names in the sets. But I think we all obviously know like there's not going to be a Wemby to lean on this year. And so like, does Top Shot have anything sort of in the works for like, I think, beyond buying and selling, like actually participating in, taking pride in your collection and being able to view your collection in different ways, whether it's on the app or it's on mobile or web or just sharing it with your friends. I think that's like sort of the main thing I want to see is like, I want to be able to interact with my collection in more ways than just buying and selling. Long-winded.
Yeah. No, I think covered a lot of really good things there. And as we're speaking, I want to pull up your co-host's tweet from the other day because it resonated. Let's see, Thunder Hour.
Also big on this.
Yeah, 21 hours ago.
Like organizing the collection, like Anderson Paak saying, like being able to. I love ripping trade ticket packs. I love just ripping packs, but sometimes like if you just like I said, I just bought a #1 Brandon Miller and it's right there at the top. But if I go rip a bunch of packs, he's like beneath a bunch of stuff, so I either have to like list it, maybe list it on floaty, or I honestly sometimes just like if I got like one pack with 2 or 3 base set moments that are in front of my special serial buy or fun grail buy. Sometimes I'll just literally burn them because I want to see my new moment right there at the top.
Yeah, so I think it's a few things. And Steve in the booth, if you're able to share the screen share, we've got Jared yesterday saying Top Shot's a social media company and they don't know it yet. I think a lot of what we're looking to do in the next kind of, let's call it, between now and the end of the year is really lean into collection progression and expression. And what does that look like materially? Well, on Top Shot a couple of weeks ago, put out this tweet, right? I'm going to pull it up. It was a sort of a tracer bullet of just kind of something we're looking to do more of. So Squirrel Claw just collected their 2000th moment, right? And this nice little celebration comes up. Imagine if these are more than just kind of tweets that go out, but are actually a live feed on Top Shot itself of just cool collector achievements that are happening. And then when you go to your overview page of your profile, rather than seeing the packs you most recently bought, you have all of your celebrations of things that you've done, all of the special accomplishments you've taken care of. And those can all be configured as such. So collection organization can be understood in a bunch of different ways. Obviously, right now you have grouping of collections, making those more public, making those more visible. That's obviously a priority. You used the word showcase. That was a feature we had in the past. How can we make showcases bigger, better than ever? So all of that kind of falls under the same umbrella of like, I, as a collector, want to express my collection. Me, Jacob, KGJ24, I got Victor Wembanyama's serial number 714 of his rookie debut, because that's French Independence Day, July 14th. And I wanted to kind of give a head nod there, right? So every collector has a slightly different collecting strategy. Every collector is looking for serials that mean something specific to them. And there's no way to fully kind of encapsulate that without allowing collectors to kind of customize their own profiles and their own collections a little bit more seamlessly. So definitely something that's top of mind for us.
Yeah, like, you know, like an old MySpace page. You can do whatever you want with it. Like maybe it's like, especially when I know that when you go to a showcase, and I know that in the past, I can't remember if I'm sure it's either been updated or maybe not, but like there was a solution where like if your collection was loading slow or something like that, like maybe it's because you had a bunch of showcases and maybe that's been solved now. But I know that like when you go to a showcase and you hit play and music drops in over it, it just, you know, same thing when you're scrolling, when you're binging through moments and all of a sudden you hit a moment with audio on it and it just like, it hits in a totally different way. And I know that like getting all the rights for like game audio, whether it's like the PA announcer or like the organist, you know, his rights, and maybe you've got this player screaming something that you don't have, you got to get his rights. The actual audio rights, I'm sure that's a nightmare. And it's a whole other thing to get, you know, for the curation team to deal with. But like maybe we've got a pack drop that's like literally Top Shot licenses a dozen songs. Maybe they even have like increasing rarity, or maybe it's just sort of like a marketplace where you can go pick, this is what I want. Maybe you don't have to own it as like a unique NFT or collectible. Just sort of, there's a page on like a little tab on your profile, and you just click this song. Every time I watch a moment, if it doesn't have audio, it's going to default to this song. It just slaps so much harder. But okay, that sounds great. Next question. Something that,
and sorry to interrupt, just seeing in chat,
yeah.
a question from who asked it? LB asks, did Jacob see those mock-ups? I believe you shared out some mock-ups of kind of how to make the moment more personalized for yourself with, you know, serial number, username. We did see it. We loved it. We shared it a ton internally. Super exciting to get concepts like that really do kind of open the eyes of just how much ownership and customization can really excite.
Even like over on All Day, you know, like when every single edition built into the page is like the collectors with like the most unique, like the biggest stacks of each edition. Right. Even something like that. Like I want to show up on Herb Jones. I want to show up on Noah Clowney. And I think that like kind of sort of going into fandom a little bit, like should we expect any sort of iterations on either player or team leaderboards going forward? Are we ever going to see favorite team leaderboards? I think that like there's obviously instances where like favorite team doesn't really matter as much. And then there are others that it's the only thing that sort of makes sense to do, like the season rewind or, sure, you know, signature victory stuff. Is favorite team going to happen? Shoot me straight.
I think ultimately, as you said, the season rewind strategy fell flat for a variety of reasons, right? And I think saw a lot of chatter about how those moments going to collectors who identify with that team as their favorite team would be such a more meaningful reward, whether those should have been legendary from the get-go, right? All valid conversations and talking points. I think what's clear to us is the idea of being a top fan of a certain team needs to extend past just the current understanding of Top Shot Scorer, which has, I think to everyone in community, pros and cons. So the specifics of how that will manifest in product next year remain to be shared. But I would say here, the only reason it hasn't happened yet is when we do roll that out, it needs to land with a little bit of emphasis. It can't just be kind of haphazardly released to the world without a clear plan of making it matter more. So that's kind of why I think, like, even today we could theoretically lock everyone's favorite teams and then make favorite team matter more. But if you can't see where you stand on your Charlotte Hornets team leaderboard amongst collectors that identify with the Hornets as their favorite team, it's kind of a clunky, not ideal.
That would be the most beautiful thing. If I've got a little tab on my profile where I can see, like, because sometimes it's obviously like very purposeful. Like, I know where I stand on the Brandon Miller leaderboard. But like maybe there's another dude that I've just been sort of like an Andrew Nimhard. Like, I've just kind of been organically collecting, like, not with the intention of locking, even just sort of like, I love this moment. Every time he's got one, I have to get it. I'd love to see a place on my profile where it's like, you can see, here are the top 10 players. Here's where you stand, your leaderboard ranking, the top 10 of those. Because maybe you see obvious guys at the top, like, well, obviously I know Herb and Brandon are going to be the top, but maybe Nimhard's sitting there at number 10. And I realized, like, I didn't realize I was such a big Andrew Nimhard fan. That would, like, sort of inspire me to do maybe some more collecting, potentially even more locking, which, I think as we've seen like a year go through with, I love how there was so much more utility, honestly, for the player and team leaderboards, the percentage of each drop, every time a guy got a rare, I love, honestly, for the rookie debuts, like the team leaderboards were rewarded. But now I think we've sort of seen, like, I know there's people that, like, maybe in hindsight, like, locked more than they want because they're like, I've got a chance. I might get one of these things. I might be rewarded, and sort of like re-inspiring people to, like, continue to lock because we've seen the positives that locking's had on the platform. And just sort of like, I feel like, not even because the previous season was a miss, because I don't think it was, but I think, like, obviously, I'm sure you've talked about it internally, like, every year we do something, we've kind of got to iterate a new thing and then reinvigorate the community for why they should lock this year versus why they locked last year. Because I think something we've seen a lot is, like, if we can get some sophomore scarcity, especially because we obviously lock rookies, especially when the format is so fun to, it was stated early on very directly, like, you're going to want to stack these rookies because this is how we're doing rookies. And having that roadmap from day one, like before the first packs even dropped, was so helpful to know, like, all right, this is what the format's going to be like. I'm going to collect and stack these rookie debuts. I'm going to turn them into freshman gems, and I'm going to turn those into rookie revelation. And then I think we may not have a rookie like Victor Wembanyama, but we do have Victor Wembanyama as a sophomore. And I think we want to see, like, ways that we can make sure that these, like, rookie prices, obviously there's a rookie factor that always goes into it. And, making sure that, like, a Wembanyama common in S24 doesn't really affect the Wemby common of S23. And obviously, like I said, there's, like, an organic difference there because it's rookie and it's a debut and all that stuff. But, like, leaning into sophomore scarcity, third year, go hog wild, but just sort of seeing, like, the soft letdown from, like, we went really scarce with Wembanyama, and all rookies. Like, no, I don't think anybody, even Derek Lively, who just played his way into a lot more moments, he didn't even have 5,000 total supply, and so seeing that sort of like a soft letdown, like, as those rookie moments start to unlock, honestly, like in like 2 months, 3 months. I think the first drop was like November 7th. So, like, we're under 3 months from those first wave of rookie debuts starting to unlock, and sort of seeing, like, if getting a commitment on the front end to be like, it doesn't have to be like, they're not going to get any moments or whatever. Like, I want Wemby moments this year. But just sort of committing to, like, some sophomore scarcity, in a way that maybe Paolo he played his way. You can't help it when he plays his way into a for the win, when he plays his way into a first round rare, and he probably would have gotten some more rares had the Magic kept winning. But just sort of knowing, I think that knowing a sophomore scarcity also helps you it gives you a little bit more confidence when you're making rookie buys, the season before. So sophomore scarcity.
Yeah, I think it's a good rack. No comment on kind of the plans for next season
Totally.
with regard to rookie sophomore scarcity here. But well heard and understand. And I do think that there's somewhat of a bifurcation of the importance of scarcity around rookies and making sure that their rookie season and the rookie year badge just really stands out as like a tried and true important collectible. Now, obviously, with the advent of Fast Break in the past year, the utility and the bottlenecks on being able to get a certain player's moment, that's a new consideration for us going into next season for sure. Generally speaking, the recipe of when a star player is in an upcoming drop, having the opportunity to trade in that player's existing moments to get the new moments from that player, like we've seen, that does have a nice kind of stabilizing impact for the influx of new supply. So definitely a lot of learnings to kind of double down on and improve, frankly, from this past season. But the foundation is there.
Yeah, like sophomores only being challenge rewards, or sophomore base moments are only going to be explosions, or whatever, some sort of parallel version that does. I mean, I guess to be a parallel, it had to be a parallel of something. But I don't know, maybe something like that. But I think the last thing is sort of the most current topic. I actually accidentally wore my Run It Back shirt here. We've got several guys that are going to be in this drop, or hopefully throughout this summer. What I would love to see, I think obviously internally regarding I'm not even going to bring up the pack prices of the legendaries. I think internally it's a conversation. I don't personally expect the setup for drop 2 to be the same as drop 1. But I know you can't say anything on that here, and we'll know likely this week what drop 2 is going to look like. But something I would love to see for Run It Back is just to see the overall set. We don't have to commit to sort of knowing, okay, it's going to be these guys on this drop on this day at this price for this reward, but just sort of seeing a big picture, this is going to be what the set looks like long term throughout the summer. You don't know when these drops are going to be. You don't know, which guys they're going to be paired with or which reward they're going to be. Maybe, honestly, the rewards, I'd love to see the day of, because, I think one of my personal bugaboos is I want to see Top Shot announce all these mints. I don't want to be on Top Shot Explorer, even though I know that was sort of internally built. I want the blog to drop, and I want the blog to tell me that's what's happening. This is what's coming. We don't have the live queues anymore. I think this trading event is a good example of how we can get the community to all participate on topshot.com at the same time. But having a blog that drops all the names, and that's the first place you see it. It's not minted yet. The mint can happen immediately afterwards. But having a reason for everybody to all, log into blog.topshot.com. It's so much fun. And I think that seeing an overarching picture of what these sets are going to look like player wise. And I know that some things may not be, they can all have even a TBD on it. There's going to be guys that maybe aren't confirmed yet, or they might go up a tier or down a tier. But I think that would give people some more confidence to be what am I buying? Where am I starting this journey towards the David Robinson? I love these 5 guys. But I don't know that I'm going to love the next 25 guys. And, because like I said, it doesn't have to be 5 guys at a time. I know the drop size might vary, the price might vary. But at the very least, sort of seeing a broad picture of what these sets are going to look like in totality, I think would give us some confidence going forward to what we're getting into when we have drops throughout August, September, and I think even October, maybe.
Yeah, I think candidly, there's the balance there of, if there are a handful of drops forthcoming, maintaining a little bit of buzz and excitement with each drop rather than kind of revealing all the names up front and then kind of not having that headline or that opportunity to get people excited when the announcement comes the next time around. Yeah. With that being said, that's a slightly different conversation to the other topic, which is finding out the names via Top Shot Explorer versus via an announcement from us, whether that is a blog, whether that's on social, whether that's a mint reveal show. Like all of that is
the latter. Give me the latter, please. Give me the mint reveal show.
Well, the mint reveal show's coming for sure.
If Brandon could be revealing these moments like live on YouTube, like and the fourth slot and run it back, that would be so epic.
Well, hey, there might be an idea right there. So yeah, I think like more excitement and enthusiasm internally around hyping up the reveals and the announces. I think one of the reasons for how it is when we do announce, we generally want to have an opportunity to have a call to action to steer people toward, the pack page where they can get the details of, the drop itself. And in order for us to have that pack page, we need to mint the moments and stuff the pack. So there's a little bit of a circuit to try to make it happen. And so there are ways to subvert that, certainly, including kind of sharing the reveal before the minting happens. And I think, we called it the mint reveal show back in the day for that very reason. We were kind of sharing the moments ahead of the minting happening. So all valid and good points of feedback. To your earlier point there, I would expect for each drop of Run It Back this summer to look a little different than the previous one. Not just the players, self-explanatory, going to be a different batch of players each time, but the constructions, the offerings, the quantity of packs, the trade tickets, the trade-ins, all of that's going to kind of vary from drop to drop intentionally to kind of enable us to hit the nail on the head from drop to drop the best we can.
And sort of, I think my last thing, just sort of, I thought I was done, but just speaking on like, I know that, every iteration of every pack offering is going to be different. There's different players, there's different constructions. But I think like there's three pillars to a pack drop. There's the contents, there's, and their mint counts. There's the quantity of packs. Is there 100 packs? Is there 1,000 packs? And the price of the pack. And I think that's something that would be helpful. I don't know the behind the scenes here. I know that. But I do know that I think that as a community, if it was sort of understood that like going in, the contents are going to be different. The quantity of packs will be different. The construction, all different. But just hypothetical numbers here, like common packs are all $9. Rare packs, all $49. Legendary packs, all $4.99. And you just sort of build the packs internally to like make those prices work, so you can go in being like, I don't know what this legendary pack is going to contain, but I do know the price of all these things, and I can sort of budget for things going forward. And maybe you've got a little less of like feeling like, the price of the players is a little bit too baked in, because it's obviously so subjective of like, even if you guys have the data, like we know these are the big players. We know this is their experience. This is their collection on the platform and what they typically go for, average sale price, all these buys. You have all the data. But like giving sort of some consistency to like, there's three pillars. This pillar is going to be the same. I know it's kind of a bigger idea. I don't pretend to know anything about like Top Shot, the revenue and all the things that go on like as a business. But I think that would be a fun thing that would, maybe inspire some confidence as far as like, I know that I'm going to go into this drop. For one, $4.99 is, I can budget for that. If it's $6.99, $9.99, like whatever the number is, being like, if I'm going to kind of make my own collector roadmap for the year, like I love what they described about, what the holo set's going to look like this year. How can I sort of budget for that for an entire season of going for the, all the pack drops? I want this expert reward, sort of knowing going ahead of time, like this is the tier that I'm collecting at this year. And this is sort of the pack cadence. And I can sort of back end, reverse engineer my budget for the year.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be the run in a crawl walk run right now. I think definitely didn't hit the nail on the head with pricing on the first run it back. Clearly, right? The market tells us as much. But what I think the crawling to the walking looks like is having every week, and this is a priority for our team, especially as we build up this off season into next season. Every single week, we need to check all of these boxes. We need to have something for any collector can come in and buy a pack for the price of maybe a lunch or cheaper, right? So $10 cheaper, whatever it may be.
Sure.
Then there's a more premium offering that's going to be somewhere in the, let's call it $30 range, maybe $100 range, somewhere in that range of prices. Obviously fluctuates quite a bit based on the content. And then on the legendary side, something that's a little more premium, having a very scarce number of packs at a value that's pretty exciting. So what that looks like for this next drop, stay tuned. You'll hear very soon. But beyond just the pack offerings, there also needs to be stuff for people to do and engage with and have fun with. So the run it back challenges, the run it back expert challenges, right? 3 different tiers to complete. I think run it back, the traditional run it back non-origins. I did it yesterday, right? Just to complete, to try to get the Ray Allen. It was about a $40 commitment to get there, right? So that's something that many Top Shot collectors can get involved with and have a good time with. Over the course of the expert challenge, do that a bunch of times. Beyond that, trade ticket drops, trade-ins. You see today we have craft your pass to get access to Fanatics Fest on Saturday this weekend. So that's a new thing we're trying out. Anticipate to see a lot more crafting challenges using moments as if they're trade tickets, essentially. So prior to turning them into trade tickets, getting utility out of any moment from your collection. So you're going to see a lot more of this, and we're excited about it. But I think long story short is where we were aggressively falling short over, let's call it the last month prior to this past week, where I think we're starting to turn our focus and really make sure that there's something to do every single collector on the platform each week. I think we were, doing things each week, but maybe a little too siloed to specific cohorts, be it ultra whales or collectors that are solely into WNBA content, whatever it may be. And I think a big kind of turning point for us in the past week has just been focused on, let's get wins on the board. Let's deliver some value and excitement to collectors week over week. And you're starting to see that off the back of, I think, Flash leaderboards last Saturday after the Olympic finals finished up, opportunities for both quick rips and legendary packs. Fast forward to this week, starting to see a few new things as well, trade events. Really excited about this, excited to kind of get a better understanding of participation and all that stuff that I'll learn about after the stream. But it seems like, I'll speak for myself. I had a great time and was awesome to be able to connect with you all and give away some packs and do some prizing. And Sam, as always, you're just such a champion for the community, and we appreciate you tremendously.
Well, thanks for having me. That was a blast. I love it. I appreciate you listening to all my long-winded ideas. I'm a passionate guy. I love Top Shot. And so, I'm excited. I'm excited for the rest of the run it back stuff. Like I said, I'm definitely going for the Ray Allen. I think that like the mints, the players, like this is run it back season is sicko season. And it's for me. And I love these guys like Mo Williams. Honestly, he's the cheapest guy in this drop. He is the least desired pull. And this exact moment has been the moment I've been waiting for 4 years. He also went to Alabama. And the second that I logged on to Top Shot, I'm typing in Mo Williams. In 2021, that S1 run it back was a little steep. So I've been waiting, and I was like, look, I'm hoping I'm getting another Mo Williams moment. And if I do, I just want it to be the 52-point masterpiece with Minnesota. And I got it. And so it's like, sometimes when you think that it's like, why would anybody want this guy? Why did they mint this moment? There's somebody like me that is, I've literally, if I type in the letter M in my browser, it takes me to the serial 205 of Mo Williams, which has still not been ripped. I am waiting desperately for somebody to rip the Tuscaloosa area code serial from Mo Williams. So if anyone does it, please give it to me. Accept the offer. Anyway, thanks for having me. I'm had a blast.
Awesome. So just final housekeeping here. We got about 56 more minutes of trading. Again, the trade needs to be executed both sides within the next 56 minutes. If you do not execute the trade, it will evaporate into thin air. And we'll be back for the next trading event. Really looking forward to improving the feature based on feedback. If you do have feedback, please go to our Twitter, NBA Top Shot, and under the trade under the trade announcement from earlier today, leave your feedback. I think we put out a tweet 2 hours ago with the stream. Reply to that with comments, things you'd love to see. We'll get our devs on it and make sure that next time we have a trade event, there are some improvements in the process. So excited about that. But as always, massive shout out to you, Sam. Massive shout out to our friends at Evaluate for doing such an incredible job getting the trading feature built out. And again, I can't wait for the next one. This is going to be a lot of fun. Sam, always a pleasure. We'll talk more NBA. Excited to get some more updates as we get closer to training camp. And chat, stay tuned. We got some announcements coming out later this week. We've got a few exciting things on the horizon, a few really exciting things that I can't share here, but you'll see soon enough. So with all that, looking forward to all that's ahead, and happy collecting, Top Shot.
See y'all. Have a good one.